Hey, how about you in the bank, the anchor man? What do you want? What do you want? Come on, speak up.
I feel like you guys were like the longest lasting guys since season 1 and season 6. Like, Raiders.
Nope, that's me.
Did we ever really get it though? I mean, we kind of did, I think.
So I just grabbed a little instruction. Your character both was like, hey, wait a minute, the Raiders have never let us down.
Yeah. Right on, good point.
But I was wondering, like, from your perspective, how did it feel like when all these, for whatever reason, all these Raiders kept leaving and you guys stayed till season 6? And Volk, I know you had a couple of cameos in Lost Galaxy too.
Yeah, I call that the couch season since that's what I was. At home, the remote control.
You know, heroes come and go, but idiots are rare.
It's so shockingly true.
That's all.
Woo!
Yes!
That's what a PhD gets you.
So, you know, from my perspective, man, the kind of the shift from the characters from kind of buffoonish antagonists and objects of ridicule into kind of general buffoonery that was more good-natured and less kind of, you know, laugh at the fat guy because he can't climb the rope, and into laugh at the two of them because they're idiots. Like, to me, that was a real important change. And we actually, some seasons worked better than others. You know, like the private detective thing, Goldar in a closet, a little weird. And hey, you gotta do something with, hey, Kerrigan, where's Kerrigan? But still, it was really nice to have it kind of shift into something that was more good-natured and more honest. You know, because everybody knows Narvy is a full-on punk. Like, he sets things on fire for fun. I'm not kidding, he does that. So really, and I'm not as much of a punk myself. I was bullied as a kid, and so I really did not appreciate playing the part of a bully, because bullies suck. And that's why it was cool to like end up being kind of good-naturedly experiencing the universe, you know, as inconsistent as it was.
Let's go over. There's a guy at backwards cap.
Okay, as actors, how hard was it like going in between seasons and doing other work to going back to these characters that were supposed to have growth and you having to come back and resume their growth whenever filming restarted or something like that?
Well, I mean, it's not exactly like doing Hamlet and then coming back 2 years later. Do you ever have this dream, this nightmare where you show up the first day of rehearsal for a show you had already done and you're supposed to be off book and you're like, I should know this, but I go up tonight. It's not like that, okay? You know these characters well because part of it is the improv, and you really base every character on some aspect of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ideally.
Absolutely.
Ideally.
Or the character's not going to fly. You're not going to be doing it for 6-7 years. You know, so it was pretty easy to jump back to Vulcan's skull.
I mean, we weren't, being a primary cast member on the show is sometimes difficult because, when you look at the script, some of those brothers got some monologues, man. They're like, in the blood, and I'm looking at these poor guys in their dressing rooms like, they've been on the couch for 4 months during a hiatus, and now they have to learn, like this mini, this little opus.
Yeah.
For us, we come in and we're like,
well, that's the thing. Paulie and I are seeing each other in the off season, so it's not like suddenly the cameras turn off, and Paulie and I are like, well, let's go read a book. Okay, bye. I'm the Paulie. I mean, we just do the same crap we were doing, in the off season.
True.
We kept each other sharp and
setting stuff on fire.
I like to think we held each other back a little bit. I like to think that we were anchors around each other's necks in the off season. We kept each other from going anywhere.
Okay, that's true actually. Thanks for not going to college for 3 years.
No, it was like 12. It was like.
How many cakes have you worn?
Cakes.
That's a pretty good question.
To be honest, I don't think we wore that many. After season 1, we didn't wear a lot of cakes. I would guess in the neighborhood, I would say less than a dozen, believe it or not.
I agree with you because later the show kind of became influenced by that whole Nickelodeon goop revolution. That's what we called it. So then there was a lot of liquid stuff flying through the air, which was always fun.
I'm actually going to throw a number out there. I'm going to say probably only around 6.
That's not right.
I think it's more than 6, but less than 12.
8.
Really? You think so?
Maybe.
8 cakes? Well, that's more than 6 or less than 12, so you and I are on the same page. Yeah, pies don't count.
Okay,
Chip Lynn, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Chip. Good night for you. Very nice.
good to see you, dude.
We love you, man.
There was a Pink Ranger over here.
Cheshires.
When you find out the identity of the Rangers and what did it feel like when you found out, but you had to save their lives and you've got your great memory?
Scene and countdown.
When is Ranger not a Ranger?
Sure.
We don't remember.
It seemed like kind of a bait and switch, didn't it? To like give us the thing that we've been hunting for like 5 years, and then, okay, now, you know. So that was a little odd.
There was a real self-righteous moment there for Bulk and Skull. Like, we knew it, and we knew deep down inside we would have to save them someday. So it was the death of the old Bulk and Skull and the birth of a new one.
You go for a little way, and come back, and everybody's got delusions of grandeur. You know.
Let's go. This poor guy over there has been like holding that thing up like the Empire State Building for 60 years.
I kind of came in a little late. I walked in and you were saying you auditioned for the part of Billy. Did it like at any time did it ever regret the fact that you didn't get that part and that you got the part you got?
No, I mean the fact of the matter was you go in front of a camera, slate your name, your agent, and you walk out. That was the audition. And I never knew anything else about it until February the following year, 4 months later when they called me. So I never regretted it. I mean, honestly, I love the Rangers. They're all good friends, okay? But working with Paulie, as much as I like to joke and kid, was really the worst experience. No, kidding aside, man, I would not take that back for anything, you know? Paulie became a great friend, one of my best fucking, pardon my French.
So, okay, I'll use that as a segue. I think we've told people this before. You know they made us share a dressing room, right? You ever seen two straight guys change in the same room? They like find opposite corners.
Well, it's great too because we napped in there, and I'd sleep on the floor and he'd be on the couch and he rolled over.
We would listen to Jesus Christ Superstar over and over and over. So I think that initially it was AJ that was in the room next to us, and then they switched. So she was like, I have to get away from this wall because my is came and I was like,
Those walls, you know what, being near those walls. One time someone was walking down the hallway right next to our dressing room, and suddenly a sword goes shink right out of the wall. That was Paulie. That was. So if I were Billy, I would not have had any of these experiences.
no wait. There was this one time when I said, hey Narvy, wouldn't it be funny if we drew a tropical scene on the talent hallway wall? Cut to us 5 hours later painting the wall. Thank you, Jonathan. We're painting. Yeah, please don't draw on the walls. And note to self.
Let's see, let's do someone over here. Oh, yes, we got 2 over here. We'll do one next. One. Yes, you. That look behind. Now it's taking a picture. Okay, pictures are not questions.
I was just wanted to ask, similar to what she was asking about finding out the identities thing. Like that seemed to be sort of like the first sort of inkling of any sort of conscience of two characters. Did you guys kind of catch that at all yourselves? Like, so they seem to have like almost no redeeming qualities until that point, and then.
No, you're right.
Well, no, you're absolutely
Yeah,
right.
you are right.
In between themselves as characters, there was absolutely a lot of redeeming qualities because they were ultimately devoted to the other one. But you're right. In terms of the context of the broader cast and the storyline, that was a watershed moment for them.
I will say, Skull loved Kimberly. And his love not a redeeming quality. You warmonger!
Lechery is not love.
It was real! It was real lechery! Don't denigrate my lechery! Right next to you, there's someone else. I was gonna couple. Goodbye, Chip.
Bye, Chip. We love you, man. He's awesome.
What do you
Yes.
guys think of your little theme song, your little ditty that you guys used to play when you
Walked in the room, your little theme music.
Yeah, thank you,
You
Ron.
guys had any input to it, or did you even at all?
No input. No, Ron did not need any help scoring the show. And when we mug as badly as we do, we're like, all of that came from the fact that we were overacting so terribly,
So wonderfully.
Acted wonderfully. Greatly, we were overacting. Greatly.
Let's go this way. Far right, yeah.
Jason, you gotta tell us about the
Hey, put the needle in the record.
What's that?
Put the needle in the record. Put the needle in the record.
Jason, I asked you about the animal skull that was in your hotel room in Australia.
The animals. Oh, I thought there was a little animal that I dressed up
He
like.
doesn't know I put that in my blog.
How did you know that? Was it you? Okay, like most people, I just wanted to be a cowboy and have dead things. So, when I went out to...
Come on. Please, continue.
Okay, so I got out to the outback. It was the coolest thing. When we were in Australia, Polly's girlfriend was visiting at the time. Hello. Mine wasn't, so I went out and found dead things. Oh, it's so sad. But so I went out to this was kind of cool. I went out to the outback all by myself, and I went to go use the bathroom. I'm like in the middle of nowhere, like. And then realized, no cars are like, there's no car for 1,000 miles. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like, all right. There we go. As I'm doing that, I see this skull on the ground. Okay, it looked like someone laid a blanket over it. So I go to pick it up, and it still had the hide on it. It was really kind of nasty. I'm like, ew. So finally I said, are you going to be a man? Or are you going to be a skull? Rip that skull off. So I'm like, ugh. The problem was the damn thing stank. It smelled like death. It was in my car, the sun beat down on it. I put it in my hotel room. It was still stinking up the joint, so I would pour bleach on it every day.
And lie.
It looked like I was like killing people. I kid you not, the maids refused to go into my room. I don't know what he's doing in there, but it's not nice. It's not pretty.
Everything's following the blog post pretty accurately so far, yes?
Yeah. Tell me in.
Oh, customs.
Oh, right. So going through customs, I'm a guy that always gets caught going through customs. Like, long black coat. Like,
No.
do you have anything to... And I got the skulls in there. I got like 4 skulls and all that stuff. Fortunately, that day, though, we were late getting to the airport. So I was able to smuggle it into the country in the damn backpack. So there I am flying across the Pacific with my dead skulls. And I finally get home and put it out great, in my study, with my degree, PhD, Master of Letters, Shakespeare, dead thing.
This is the quite significant of my version where customs yanks it right out of his bag and says you can't take dead things on a plane set.
No, this was me in customs.
And action! That's a broken chair down there.
What song is stuck in your head right now?
Wagon Wheel by the Old Crow Medicine Show. Well, heading south to the land of on my way to North Carolina, staring down the road, praying God I see headlights over and over. Well, on my way to North Carolina,
And I've got Antoine Dodson's little ditty running through my head since I just downloaded the iTunes version, and it's pretty rigid.
You know what? Actually, all I got stuck in my head this one was green sleeves.
Oh, that was I did that to you. Why did you do that to me? Because Asia in the parking lot, when I was asking what the cross street was for entry into the parking lot, she said it was Green Street. Green Street is all I joy. Put the needle on the window.
Boy, have we devolved. Yes, in the back.
Okay, if you guys got everything you needed to make your own spin-off series, what would it be like? Like plot-wise and other things?
Wow. Ever read Tom Stoppard?
Yeah.
Be something like really irreverently classic and
Rosie Frenzy Gillen Star Dead.
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly.
Oh, I gotta say, Penn and Teller's new show, which I cannot.
Bullshit!
I'm not lying about this. I think it would be something like that. It would be an adult show.
It's bullshit!
Oh my God. It would be in this place. Say it one more time. What it was like having.
Having Goldar and Burrito as your servants for a short amount of time.
Well, Danny Stalkup played Rita, so I like having him in the costume because I can kick him off camera. And he's a stuntman, so when he was out of costume, he'd always be punching me, and I was like, oh, look who's in the costume now. We're going back to one, sorry, Danny. Danny's an awesome fight choreographer, director, stuntman.
Let's get the guy that I was pointing at originally.
When you guys were the movie, the Power Rangers, the movie, the first one, and stuff, you got also the two people, how was that whole experience in the movie? Like, some of that experience.
Well, it was cool because somebody sent you to Australia for like 7 months. And that was like, wow, you know? And of course they had this per diem thing, right, where they pay you like $50 a day. Well, when you're in a place for 7 months, $50 a day suddenly is like a bunch of money. Especially when you're getting paid anyway to work. So like periodically we would get these checks and we'd be like, let's go buy some fireworks. Or now you would be like, I want to go buy a convertible Ford Falcon, and if I can't find one, I want to find one with a top and I want to cut it off. So we would do some really, I mean, you know the trip that he took where he found the, you know, he was out like hanging out with this Hungarian opal miner in the outback. So really the true benefit of that experience for us was that we got to be supporting characters, work 1 to 2 days a week for 7 months, and be paid to experience a really wonderful country with some really interesting parallels to our own. You know, east to west migration, oppression of indigenous peoples. You know, the Australians and the Americans are, we've cast off the crown, and they, to some extent, have not. They still pay fealty in some respect. But we love Australia. It was really great.
Yeah,
great place.
It was a hell of a cultural experience. I mean, that's for sure. The actual filming of the movie is odd. It was such a small portion of that whole thing.
Yeah, totally. Like really, in the aggregate, it was a very small portion of the experience for us.
And you got to remember, this comes at the time most people are going to college. You know, so for some of us,
what's that?
College is this place that people go to waste money. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, that was, a lot of people, that was Steve's first apartment, that was my first apartment, I think it was Johnny's first apartment. So, well, no, that wasn't Johnny's first apartment. But a lot of people. Anyway.
Offset, how often did you guys interact with the voice actors?
Oh, quite a bit. Quite a bit because at least I did, and Narvy did too on Beetleborgs. He was on the motorcycle. So,
Mass Rider.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oh, Mass Rider. Sorry, yeah, sorry. Wrong forgettable series. So we would, all right, let's roll. So we would always run into those guys, and face it, they were almost without exception. They were folks that had worked for Harmony Gold, and I was huge fans of all of their work. And they had done some really cool stuff that I was totally into. So to get the chance to sit with, for instance, Tom Weiner's here today. Tom's a great producer and director. Yeah, he's here. He's not dead! and it's Carol, and so I got to really meet a lot of really cool people whose work I admired, and I got to learn a lot from them, because I did a lot of voice work for Smog too on their kind of various myriad, crazy, horrible shows.
You guys were in Australia for 7 months. How many episodes of Power Rangers would you like to film there? You said that actually you're living there as well.
We were shooting the feature film, the 20th Century Fox movie 1, but then they kept us too long because of the schedule. And so they had to shoot some episodes for February Suites.
Yeah.
So I think we ended up doing 8 or 9.
No, I think it was less than that because we planned to do a 3-parter.
Oh yeah.
So and that got canceled because of weather. So we filmed that one kind of pastiche kind of one.
Yeah.
That was 1 episode or 2 episodes. Then we did Sydney Council. It was probably 5 episodes.
It was not a lot. It was not a lot of shooting the series.
Well,
Well, it was cool because Shuki was directing, and he let me direct a little bit, and we were allowed to AD, which was really a great experience.
Yeah. And it was 4 months, not 7.
It felt like 7.
Yeah, this lady right here at the camera.
I just wanted to know, I saw on YouTube the behind the scenes of the Turbo movie, and you're special, and I loved it, by the way. But I wanted to know, what was the fascination with Austin's chair, and did you ever get a hold of it?
Well, the answer to your question is Cleveland, pineapple, Minnesota. The power of non sequitur is significant because anything becomes funny if repeated enough times. What was that?
Cleveland, pineapple, Minnesota.
So when you repeat a word so many times it ceases to have all meaning, it begins to take on some life of its own, It just becomes like a sound that you're making. That was it. So when we were told we were going to be expected to do some funny stuff for that ancillary material, obviously we didn't dig deep. But to me it was funny, Austin's chair is just wacky to me.
When you guys came back for Forever Red, there was an outtake in YouTube where you fall down into a pool and you kind of mumble to yourself 444 episodes of this next to
Holy, I'm shocked! Jeez!
Is that the quality of the show now, or
What is that?
is that your opinion of the quality of the show staying, or?
Whoa, you're trying to rake some mud up.
Yeah. No, it's funny. For God's sakes, we had 440 episodes. We're doing a shtick that we like and we have done a billion times.
Exactly. And the reunion episode was shot in Lancaster. It was 800 degrees, where you have 3 lines and they make you wait 7 hours before you get to utter something. So by the time he finally got to fall in the pool, it was night. It was nighttime.
And you guys got to remember, a lot of our humor, obviously we have you guys to laugh, and if we're really being funny, we'll hear you guys, if not, it'll be like, there our audience was the crew. If they had a long day, they were bitter. So our job half the time was to make them laugh.
Totally.
Because then we knew we were on, they loved us for it, we loved them. That's how we were having fun on the set, is making a joke that only they would laugh at. We didn't figure that 10 years later somebody would be like, you know what?
I was wondering, were you bitter? A little bitter?
Hey, you guys, thank you so much for coming to the panel.
Remember, don't let anybody tell me or tell you that you're not funny, because you are all some funny